Welcome to Epic, another podcast episode from With Purpose. My name is Chris, and I am the owner as well as lead business strategist. Our special guest today is Caleb and Abraham, co-owners of Red Legend. Hey guys, I'm really excited to have you on for you to share with us today about being an elite professional as well as leader in your industry. How you guys doing?
Good. Great. Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a problem. You guys are a couple great guys just from the little bit that I know about you. And I already know your passion, and I really want the audience to see and to hear that as well. So why don't you go ahead and start us off? I don't care who starts, but why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves?
We'll have an age before beauty.
So we grew up together in Payson, Arizona. I moved down to Phoenix when I was 11. We're both homeschooled and raised in the church, raised with good values and a good work ethic. And that's sort of been a theme throughout our childhood, and adulthood. What little of it we've gone through. So I went to school at ASU, graduated there a couple of years ago, spent a year in Dubai, worked for a video production company there. And always loved telling stories and then bringing people together to accomplish a project. That's what I like doing.
Yeah. We both grew up loving film and media. I remember after schoolwork was done for the day, we would find like YouTube videos that we loved to watch and like try to recreate them in our backyard. A lot of short format narrative films from people in their backyards doing the same thing. So that's something we've always loved doing, is making films with our parents' video cameras, then eventually getting our own. And then obviously eventually transition it into a business, but it's always been something we've loved to do. And yeah, we're here now.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so are you guys single, just in case ladies
yes,
are asking?
we are.
We are both.
All right,
yes.
All right. So there's the call out. There we go. Now that we got that elephant out of the room. So, just to kind of get people to know you a little bit, which one would you clean first? Would you clean your room, your desk, or your car first?
Definitely clean my desk last.
Okay, why is that?
Because I never do it.
So Caleb has two desks. And his first desk fills up, and then his second desk is the end of our kitchen counter. So everything kind of flows from that to the kitchen counter. So I can testify to that. I don't think you've ever cleaned your desk.
I mean, I try once in a while.
But I'm sure you know where everything is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone moves it, I know that they moved it. They don't.
All right. Okay, I'll go with that. Abraham?
I'd say for me, it'd probably be my car first. Though I have a home, I tend to live out of my car. I like to keep everything in there. When I'm not shooting videos for clients, I'm off somewhere in Arizona shooting landscapes. I do like photography for fun. So I'm like always out and about shooting for fun. So I'd probably say my car first, just to keep everything organized and ready to go for when the next adventure comes.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Forward thinking. I like it. And someone else who knows where everything is, regardless of whether anybody else does or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you guys are kind of like the yin and the yang for each other.
We really are.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
All right. Do either one of you have like a favorite word?
Ain't.
Ain't?
Ain't. Because you're not supposed to use it.
Oh, okay. So you defy all odds there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have a favorite word, but I have like a favorite compound word.
Okay.
There was a guy from our church that we became good friends with up in Payson, where we used to live, about 2 hours north of here. And he told us about this word called fractional impactionism. And it's a cool sounding word, and it catches your attention. And obviously you probably don't know what it means when you first hear it, but it's this idea that you can communicate something well enough that people think you're an expert in that subject. So it's like getting by kind of being able to convey this idea of something. And I'm almost kind of using it now, I think. But it kind of hit me because you can see it in a lot of the ways that we talk with each other, where we know just enough about something to get by and
to sound like we know a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that's something
without actually.
Yeah, that's something that's always stuck with me. So I like that.
I like that. I think,
Yeah.
though, that you guys probably know more than you say you do. And what is it called?
Hopefully.
Fractional what?
Fractional impactionism.
Fractional impactionism.
Yeah.
I actually like that. That's pretty cool. So you guys have been working together for quite some time, probably more on an official basis with your media company. Is that the right term to call it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And the name of your company is Red Legend.
Mhm.
So tell us some things about it. What do you want the audience to hear, to see? When did you start it? That type of thing.
Yeah. So we started, we officially incorporated like a month after my 18th birthday when it was finally legal to do so. And I won't tell you when that was. No, we started 3.5, almost 4 years ago now. So we wanted to do just video at first, and love doing that, and then have grown from there to visual media production and software development. Software development's brand new. I'll get into that. But so visual media is making stuff that looks really good for digital consumption. So video, photo, graphic design, web design. That top layer of a business that people interact with online. That's what we like to do. Not the strategy, not the, here's the videos we should be putting out, but we actually make the content.
Okay.
And then on the software side, we, like 6 months ago, hired Abraham's younger brother and an old friend of ours, sort of as an experiment, to how to lead. They're brilliant software developers, and they're really, really good. But we brought them on to do an app for a client of ours, and since then, that's looking like it's going to blow up in the next few months. We've got another huge app project coming down the road, and another lead that I got like 2 days ago from someone who's really serious and wants us to bid their project. So media production and software development.
Wow. Okay. Abraham, did you want to add anything else to
Yeah,
that?
I think one thing that people always ask us about is our name, where Red Legend comes from,
Good.
because it's got a little bit of a different spelling. And I think this kind of transitions into our business now, but probably 7-8 years ago now, my sister came up with this character for a movie, and his name was Red Legend, and I loved that, so I took it from her, and like, I'm gonna make this movie, right? Because I was the movie maker, she wasn't. Uh, and so the movie never got made, because as you learn, you don't have the Hollywood budget and everything else you need for a movie. But that idea kind of stuck with me of taking what we love to do as kids and taking our friendship and seeing how well we work together and transitioning that into a business. So Red Legend kind of stands as this ongoing process where Caleb and I get to work together to do what we love for people that we care about. And so that's kind of where we are now. Our friendship was able to transition into a working partnership because Caleb and I both, I think, our skills and our talents complement each other really well. That's why we've been friends forever, and that's why our business, I think, will continue to succeed.
Yeah, I
True
would
story.
agree.
Yeah.
So do you have to owe your sister any money, royalties, as you guys?
She brought it up like a year ago and then never said anything after that. So I think we're good now. We own the LLC. So yeah.
Okay. Just one of these days, I'm sure she's going to come back at you.
Something's going to happen. Yeah. We'll have to
right.
watch out for that.
So as we're talking about Red Legend, and I actually hear the excitement in your voice, see the smiles on your faces, and have a little bit of history. Why do you do what you do? What is the purpose of, from a personal perspective, but then also from a business perspective?
Start with that.
Yeah. So from a personal perspective, I think that as we seek God more and more, and learn more about ourselves and develop the talents that He's given us, we kind of have an obligation, but also a command to use our talents, to glorify God with what we do. And so for me, as I develop my talents and am developing my talents, I want to be able to use those to glorify God, and witness to people around me. So film's a great way to do that. We have a lot of opportunities to work with local churches, to work with local nonprofits, to be able to use what I'm good at to spread truth. And so I think for me, the purpose for what I do is to bring God glory in developing my talents and using them to share positive, powerful messages. And I'm happy to be able to wake up and do that every day.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And so I'm touching on the personal side. For me, it's same thing. If you eat, if you drink, if you start a media production company, whatever you do it all to the glory of God. So that's my personal motivation, is just, do the best job we can. And that transitions really well into the business job, or business motivation is, our goal is to tell the stories of our clients to build trust with their customers, ultimately drive action, drive sales, but you don't need to, you're aware of that, but the goal of what we do isn't to drive sales, it's to drive trust. And that drives sales.
Yeah, I like that. So as Red Legend is 4 years old now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you see it? Kind of paint a picture, if you will, where you see this business, this company being at in 5 years.
In 5 years, it'd be great if we could hit our 10-year goal in 5 years, which is be the number one content creation company in Arizona.
Okay.
Not necessarily in terms of sales or any of that, but like people say, oh, who's the best? That's Red Legend.
Okay, very good. And you guys hadn't even hit 30 yet.
That'd be awesome if we could hit that.
So you both are business owners. I'm sure you've experienced some bumps and bruises, some great, amazing moments. Just tell us some few things that you've learned about from yourselves about being a business owner.
Don't quit. Can't quit.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Like that's, if you go into it with any mindset of maybe there's a way out, maybe I'll quit, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think it's keeping that long-term vision in focus, and then it's waking up every day and consistently knowing that it's not how can I just do my job, but it's how can I keep moving our company forward on top of getting the edits out on time, going to the shoots on time, not accidentally formatting cards when I should, it's the day to day, but then it's also having that determination, that goal and focus. Whenever Caleb and I are together, we're always thinking and being proactive about, how can I change the caption on the social media post to make it slightly more engaging for people who happen to scroll by and see it. So it's having that constant mindset. Obviously we take our breaks and we have times to reset and recharge, but it's really keeping that mindset and focus, because if you don't have it, it can be really draining at times, without having that vision, that goal in the end.
Yeah, it's the idea in philosophy of the good, right? The ultimate goal. You have your values and what do you value most. If you keep that in focus, that drives it. And if you lose focus of that, you don't know where you're going, because the path isn't clear because you don't know what the end is. So I've learned, in life, but in business in particular, of the importance of keeping the goal in focus.
Yeah. And you know what, I would say it in a different way too, mirroring what you just said, is your values are your compass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you lose those values, then your compass is kind of moving all over the place, and you're like trying to figure out what's up from down, what's east from west. And at your guys' young age, I'm absolutely astounded. You guys seem very grounded. And I'm going to say this in front of everyone listening. Thank your parents for us. Seriously. They did a great job raising you guys. You seem very well grounded. You seem like you've got it all together. You know where you're headed. And again, life is going to throw some curveballs at you or some sort of obstacles your way. And it just seems like with the mental fortitude that you've got right now, that you're going to be able to see those. And if you don't see them, you have people, I'm sure, surrounding you that will help and warn you and caution you that those things are coming.
Yeah, that network is important. The support network.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, having that accountability in place, whether it's from mentors, it's from parents, and we do both have really incredible parents. Like I was recently talking with Caleb about this. I was like, I want my kids to have my exact childhood. Like whatever they did for us, I want to be able to do for them, because I think, like you were saying, that constant training, that constant guidance, and that correction has been really beneficial to us. And I still talk to my mom, I still talk to my dad about stuff because as they were before, they're wise beyond their years, and we're really appreciative for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take those clips of us praising our parents and just repeat them over
Yeah,
and
exactly.
over. And
there you go. I will send you the video. There you go. You know what, gentlemen? I do the same thing with my dad. He is my mentor. He is, in a sense, a business coach to me. But he's been there. And I always say, if I'm half the man he is, I'll be all right in life. And I agree with you. I wish that I could have given my children the same things that I was afforded. We just live in a different time. The same principles apply, the same values apply. It's how it looks as the world turns, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I like both of my parents are not artistic or technology oriented at all, but I think you nailed it. It's the values that they displayed through their work that transitioned over. The fact that my dad would get up every morning at 6:30 and work hard and not complain and come home, and he taught those values to me. And so it doesn't really matter the work, but if you have those values in place, that's really what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's good stuff. This right here is good stuff. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's really cool. So, so what would be one thing, what is one thing you know now that you wish you had known when you started?
How important it is to have mentors, like we were talking about. Sort of jumped into this a little blind. For a little backstory, we started the business, did it in college, and then straight out of college got jobs working for someone else running their media production arm of their business, and it was miserable. It was just the worst. They weren't good employers, but even if we had been with decent employers, we wanted to be able to run stuff ourselves. So bringing that back, the importance of mentors to say, hey, if I had gone to my dad, who's an entrepreneur, and said, hey, I'm thinking about getting this job, he would have said, that's probably not a good idea. And he would have seen the warning signs that I didn't see for 6-8 months in about an hour. And in all of life, but especially in business, the importance of having someone there with an outside perspective who knows you. It was a hard lesson to learn, and my goodness, it's worth learning.
Yeah,
really good. Abraham, how about you?
I think for me, I think over the last year or so, really for me, it's been able to see how important it is that the people that you work with are not someone who hands you a paycheck at the end of the day, but I really want to stand by and value them as another human being and promote their cause. That clients aren't just clients, but that hopefully they're friends as well, if that makes sense. That personal connection that you develop really is important. And I don't think there's anyone that we've worked with up to this point where they've been someone that we didn't want to hang out with afterwards and be able to talk to. That it's been really incredible to be able to meet so many different people through this job and to find people that I respect and that I admire and that I want to continue to develop a relationship with. And so I guess first starting out, it was like, all right, it's like, how can I be able to pay my rent and pay my electric bill? It started out like that. But then having, I guess, the focus switch to really appreciating and valuing the people that we get to work with, it's been a blessing. So kind of maybe a shift in a mindset of saying that there's really unique and interesting people out there that I get to meet and come across and be thankful for that, I guess. So I love everyone that we work with, and I'm glad that I get to meet them and still continue to talk with them.
And what you're saying is genuine because it's mirrored by your facial expressions as well. It expresses the happiness, it expresses the joy, the gratefulness, the gratitude that goes along with that. And both of you said this, and life is such a great lesson in of itself, right? How we navigate through it and what we do with the goods and the bads, the positives and the negatives. That's what builds character, and that's what allows other people to see the character. And when you're talking about mindset, you hit it on the head. That is really what it's about. There's a lot of people out there running businesses and kind of saying, woe is me, when they can do something about it. They can change it. They can think outside the box. They can grab a mentor to, or someone, and really kind of help them move along, holding them accountable. And it's all about the mindset. So you've nailed it on the head. I love that. Thank you so much. That's great. So tell me why your business? There's a lot of media companies out there. So why yours? What separates you from everyone else in your industry?
Well, couple things. There's us, and then there's what we do. I'll talk about us,
okay,
and then you can talk about what we do. Commitment to whatever we're doing. We'll say no to a project if it's not right for us. We'll refer it to someone else if they can achieve the same goal for someone who's going to cost them, half as much. We're out there for our clients. But once we take a project on, we're going to make it the best we possibly can. There are a lot of companies who are doing it for a paycheck. There are a lot of, I'm stealing this from my old employer, but guys with cameras, anyone can take a video, but not everyone's going to be fully on board with the project, put their heart and soul into it. And there are other great companies out there who do that as well, but it's not everyone.
Right.
Yeah. And I think another huge thing too for us is that, especially in the last 5 years, the technological advances that we see in a lot of technologies within the industry really allow filmmakers without, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank to be able to produce really high quality content. And I don't think they're hacks, but there's basically technology has allowed pretty much anyone, if they want to get good at it, to be able to produce high quality film. And because we're not having to worry about, massive overhead costs and having a board vote on what's the next camera lens that we buy yet right now. But because we're able to flow and gel with the industry and technology as it's advancing, Caleb and I are able to put out really high quality content because we're right on the cutting edge of the industry when it comes to the technology that we have, when it comes to the software that we use. We both love this a lot, and the techie side, the nerdy side of things is also our passion as well. So we're always trying to stay on the cutting edge, and we can do that. Especially with the internet, there's a massive learning database out there where we can see what other people have done and take those same tools and apply them to our work. So I think we're just both really passionate about what we do and always trying to stay at the forefront and cutting edge of everything.
And I'd add one simple thing to that is our stuff looks good. We make sure our stuff looks really good. And that does set us apart.
Very good. So I know you guys do video and audio. So do you do things that go on people's websites, social media? What? Just real
most
quick.
Most of our work is promotional videos. We did a video for a company recently talking about how they're still open for COVID-19. I won't say the other word that gets demonetized. It's a lot of stuff that goes on web. We've got 2 commercials in the queue right now that are going to go on TV. So local stations, which is super fun for us to do and see our commercial on screen. So it's mostly web and TV promoting businesses and nonprofits.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. So back to kind of the personal side of things. If there was to be, actually, let me ask you this real quick while we're talking about Red Legend. Is there a misconception about your industry that you think people misunderstand?
Yeah.
There's quite a few. You mentioned, you were talking about this actually, and you said it really well.
The gear thing,
it's that people think it's really easy. What was it? People
people think it's easy to do what we do. It's not. And at the same time, there's the flip side of that. People think that they can't do anything, but they can. So actually, we just launched something recently where we're training people to make videos on their phones, like good videos. They're not telling stories, they're pushing information. So what we do as Red Legend is we tell stories, but video is also a good tool to just, get across information. And anyone can do that right now with their phone and with like a $60 microphone. And you can make great stuff. You just need to know what are the techniques you can use. So a lot of people think they can't really do anything. That's not true. But then a lot of people think, oh, you just, you either need just buy a really expensive camera, then everything will be good. Well, we know people with, $50,000 cameras that their content isn't very good.
Okay.
So it's not all about the gear. And not anyone can just, pick up a camera and tell a story. There's a lot of thought, a lot of art that goes into it. At the same time, people can do a lot themselves, especially in 2020.
Yeah, so it's being able to encourage people to take advantage of the technology that they do have, but when that doesn't cut it, bring us in, because we can just take it to the next level. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And if I remember correctly, earlier in our segment, you do help with content though, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Okay, so moving towards the personal side of things, if there were to be a book written about you, what do you think the title would be? And on the back end of the cover, at the back of the book, what would the summary look like? What would that read?
Well, we had an idea a couple weeks ago on a shoot about what the title of the book would be. And then like you sent us this question, actually ties into a conversation we've been having for the last couple of weeks. And the book title is Standing Out, but it says standing up, but up is crossed out and then it's out. And that's a joke because I'm short and he's tall. And so it'd be like my eyes at the bottom of the book and then just a regular shot of him. I'd be just like, trying to get in. But no, I think it would be about, cause I mean, we're not normal. We've never been normal. It's about, finding out who we are in light of, the year we live in and the country we live in and the God that we have. So just discovering that. It's a very millennial concept. Discovering who we are and then discovering where we fit and the unique place we have.
Very nice.
Yeah, and kind of telling that I like our story a lot. Just that we were able to we literally knew each other from the moment we can remember, and we've been able to stay friends, and hopefully we'll continue to stay friends. And we get to run a business together. So like just that whole transition from friendship to business owners now, I think it's great, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What would be the best compliment that you've ever received?
So this actually happened probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had one of our, we were transitioning actually. Someone referred to us one of their clients, and they were midway through a project, and they were just going to have us help finish the project up. And I sent over a rough draft of the project to the client to see how they liked it. And they responded with saying, I don't know why I like it. And there's parts I don't know why I like it, but I just really like it. And so it was kind of a moment. I mean, it was great to hear that, and just know that as we apply ourselves to what we're doing, and as we work harder and try to get better with each and every project, that really does shine through. And so to be able to hear that was, I think, encouraging for both of us.
Yeah, and for me in particular, it's encouraging because Abraham heads up the creative side of the business, and I'm the boring side of the business, and that's okay because that's what we love doing. That's what we're both good at. But for me to hear that was awesome because it's like, all right, I've done just enough to corral Abraham's crazy creative mind to fit our client's need, but I haven't strangled that creativity.
Oh, okay.
So we're filling our client's need, but there's also that, magic spark in there.
Yeah, very nice.
That perfect balance,
Very good. So as we wrap this up, what are a couple things that you want everyone to hear? What do you want them to know?
Like in general, unity is possible. Come to understand the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's sort of a much bigger than our business passion. But for the business, learn what you can do yourself, and then learn what you can't do yourself. Know thyself, right?
Yeah.
That's because as business owners, which are our clients, we do some weddings and family photo shoots, but mostly it's business owners. There's so much you can do right now. So learn to do that really well, and then know when it's time to bring in a professional.
Yep, I would agree. And I would also say that last section, so know thyself, right? And then what delegate is the word that I would use.
Yeah.
So if there's something and I'm not good at marketing at all, I don't like doing any of that. So knowing that that's my weakness, I'm going to find someone like you guys to be my strength, if you will, in the business. And that resonates with me. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure that'll resonate with our listeners as well. So lastly, how can people find you? Facebook, website address, phone number. What is it that you want to share with us? How they can find you?
Best way is website, redlegend.com, and that's REDD legend, red with 2 Ds.
That was my sister's idea.
Yes.
You need to stop promoting her.
It's been difficult for SEO.
I know.
So yeah, redlegend.com or on all social media at redlegendmedia.
All right, very good. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This has been a good portion of my day. So appreciate you both. Thank you for your time, your commitment, and more importantly, your leadership in your industry as well as your community. And I know that your community starts at home. From what you've said, it goes into church, it goes into other businesses, both for-profit and nonprofit. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for bringing your heart to the table and Red Legend to us as a community.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. And I also thank you for what you do in helping people like us understand how to grow and how to be better business people. It's valuable.
Well, you're most welcome. That's my purpose. That's my value that I bring. And so anyway, there you have it. Everyone listening, Caleb and Abraham, Red Legend, go look them up. Go like their social media, Facebook page, and all that great stuff. Again, this is Chris Aird for E.P.I.C, our podcast, Through with Purpose. Have a great day. And as always, live it with purpose.